What's up?
What is going on?
What's happening, guys? This is the All or Nothing Show. My name's Austin. This is Brocco.
Brocco's Tacos.
He owns Brocco's Tacos. You know what they say.
Can't beat his meat.
You can't beat that man's meat.
If you're wondering what the hell we're talking about, you should check out, what is it, All or Nothing Prince?
Mm-hmm. I haven't gotten a picture of it yet, but it'll go up on there maybe if he wears it one day.
Yeah. No, I was wearing it last night. I just need to wear it to the gym soon. I need to get some people talking.
Yeah, I'd like some publicity.
Yeah, Austin's getting in the T-shirt business.
Which is a topic right here, is because Black Friday's coming up this week.
Oh, yeah. Way to weave it in.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thursday. For GYMFLO, we are dropping Black Friday this Thursday, which is the 25th. If you guys don't know what Thanksgiving is, that's that day. We're going to be dropping at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for all you, hopefully, West Coast listeners.
West Coasters, yeah. yeah, nationwide.
Nationwide.
All you cool cats and kittens.
Mark the clock, though. But if you're signed up for our newsletter, you're going to get notifications of, like, details about what's going on with the drop, what's going to be free, because we're giving away a lot of stuff, and then also doing...
Giving away the business, actually.
Yeah. Been doing that since day one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But slash through pricing, discount site-wide on the site, so make sure you snag whatever you've been thinking about.
You ever see the meme that's, I think our boy TNS Lehman posted it, was, it was like $49.99 on, like, Wednesday. Nope. $49.99 on Thursday. Nope. And then they put $49.99, but above it's like $79.99 slash through on Friday, and you're like, "Fuck yeah, buy it,
send it."
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
It is all a mind game. Or, I don't know business enough. I'm not a businessman. I'm trying to be.
I am not a smart man, but
how
I
the
do
sales
know what
tactics go of like manipulation of numbers, to make people, feel urged to buy.
Well, I'll tell you, Maddie gets hit with. She'll see something in the store, right? It's $8.99, and she'll say it's just $8. I'm like, no, that's 1 cent from $9.
Yeah.
And usually it's not a big difference. It's like a thing of peanuts or something, but it still matters,
I see something. Well, unless it's food like necessity, if I see something and it's like, oh, it's just $8. At least my mindset lately, it's like, no, that's $8.
Yeah.
If I do that enough, that's fucking 36, 50
well,
something. Then it's
some
like, oh,
some
shit.
items go quick too, like eggs. You pay $5.99, but it's for like 5 dozen eggs.
Yeah.
It lasts you forever. Versus you buy, let's say you're treating yourself and you get some kind of like ice cream sandwich box, right, with that bundle or whatever. That's only like 18 bars or whatever to go quick. Or you get yogurts, right? Here's a better example.
Yogurt does
$18.99 or something like that, or $14.99 for like a 12-pack. And so like 2 weeks later, you're spending like $20 a week, basically.
And do y'all do Greek yogurt?
Yeah. Okay. I don't eat regular yogurt.
Yeah,
I haven't done that in years. Yeah.
I don't shop at Sam's Club or Costco, where the fuck y'all go.
BJ's.
So I buy individual.
It's
drugs.
honestly not that much different. You might save $1
I buy the
or two.
Walmart brand of Greek yogurt, and it's like
shit.
$3.40 a fucking tub of it.
I'm not a stickler for buying like expensive brands, especially with like clothes and all. But something does worry me about like Food Line or Walmart brand items.
It's great It's a great value.
You know what stood out to me though the most? Yeah, it is great value. You know what stood out to me the most though is just because I'm worried about where they cut corners. Because one time when I first got my first tattoo, I was using a moisturizer that was like some organic shit one of my clients gave me, and then a week or so after the tattoo was healing up, I was like, oh, I'll just use my regular lotion. I had some like Equate shit. And I put the Equate on it. Hours later, it's irritated, it's raised, it's pissed off. And so I stopped using that, went to Aveeno, like, regular name brand. It was fine. And so I feel like, I don't know if they cut corners or they just use cheaper chemicals or whatever in some things. Now, this is more of a hygiene product rather than a food, but it worries me sometimes.
There's some things you got to buy name brand.
Yeah.
Like, I buy name brand.
I'll spend the extra 50 cent or $1 to do it. But it does add up. And if you're tight, if you're trying to penny pinch, then get your great value. There's no shame in it. But just some things,
Which, I don't know if this is going to open a huge wormhole about food, which I don't know how far we were trying to dive in on this, but you mentioned eggs.
Oh, shit.
That's one thing that I spend a lot of money on.
Is it why you feel bad about it? Or?
No, I buy like the organic brown shell eggs.
You actually buy the expensive eggs.
If I could, if there's a plug out there that has homegrown like hens, You feed them.
Homegrown home.
Yeah, homegrown.
Yeah.
Homegrown.
Maybe Podnessa Farms will get some
Free
eggs.
roam. Yeah, because just for example, if you go, and I'll buy the cheap eggs.
Is it ethical or is it for?
No, I guess it helps knowing that hopefully they're like maybe petted every now and then.
Here, buddy, here.
Check out.
Yeah.
But it's the yolk. You can tell the difference in the yolk.
That's
the
true.
Taste. So like, excuse me. It's the organic eggs that I'm coughing up.
My man's fine dining on an egg.
Yeah, it's $20 a pack.
Yeah.
Pure ostrich.
Yeah.
But if you crack open one of these bad boys that I buy from the store, what is going on? I need to smoke some more
Marlboros. Yeah.
Is the yolk is almost orange compared to like yellow, and I don't think
Yeah.
it's maybe the nutrients or whatever. I don't know, but it makes me feel better. Sometimes it even tastes a little different. But
You're right.
I might be
I've had,
overpaying.
my grandma used to have a friend at like her church. I guess this is pre-pandemic when
Yeah.
they'd see her more. But she would bring me, because she'd get them from her friend every once in a while, like a dozen or 2 dozen eggs from a farm. And yeah, they are just a little bit different. They're
Yeah.
usually like brown shell or things like that. If I was balling, I would have no problem buying the more premier shit, buying bison, different
No,
meats,
fuck
things
that.
like that. But no, it's just, you live cheap. I saw in the Facebook group too, which if you're wondering, join the GYMFLO.
Yes.
What is it called?
Moving it forward.
Yeah, Facebook group. But anyway, but you'd mentioned that you primarily only eat chicken because you live like a cheap bastard, which is a smart way.
Well,
to
I
do
didn't
it.
call myself that. I said
No,
I like to
I
live
did.
like a bro.
Live like you're broke, but
And speaking of cheap bastard, it takes one to know.
to know, yeah. No, I am.
Yeah.
I am.
Goodness. Got that lung butter. COVID,
Lung butt, yeah.
maybe. But yeah, so Black Friday's coming up. Knock that out. Just make sure you're following the social medias, the newsletter.
Yeah.
Sign up for that so you get the details first to know. Grab it before it's limited shit dropping.
Yeah.
Limited.
Limited.
Speaking of questions, earlier you asked me if we got some questions on social media, which we'd love some questions.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you follow us on social media so you can drop questions for this show. But I did get one I saw from Ronnie.
Nice.
Ronnie asked for stringers.
For the gym?
No, for GYMFLO.
Oh. How do you feel about stringers?
That's the only thing I used to wear when I first started lifting.
Oh,
I
now
wouldn't
you
go to the
changed.
gym without a stringer.
Yeah.
If
I've
I
seen those
didn't have a
pictures, yeah.
fresh stringer, I'm not going to the gym.
No.
I got all this meat to
What am I
show
gonna
off.
wear? Yeah.
But now, not that I'm against it or think of it like negatively. I'm out of that like. I'd wear one maybe. I'd try, but I don't lift. I don't know, man. Do you feel?
I feel like they're almost.
I don't fit a stringer anymore.
No, I feel like they're almost a little. I don't know if gimmicky is the right word or too childish, not in like an immature sense, but more. I mean, regular professional bodybuilders don't even really wear stringers anymore. I feel like that was like a '90s and then, early 2010s like type deal. Now it just feels very like if you wear something like that, you kind of seem like a tool in a bit. Or a lot of times I'll see like young kids wearing those. It's kind of like a more professional cutoff, if that makes sense. Like a cutoff, you're just tearing up like an old shirt you doing the mow the lawn in. And so people have been wearing those for years. Whether it's football practice or whether it's at the gym. But stringers are almost like designed to be just even more revealing than a tank top.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like they're a little goofy to wear. It's almost like the guys that, want to emulate some of the professional bodybuilders when they come to the gym in like a basketball jersey.
Yeah.
It's like it's not really comfortable to work out in.
No,
you kind of look like a tool. You kind of just look like you're trying to be something in a way.
So Ronnie,
but
stop
I think
being a tool.
But
I'm just
yeah. So stringers, probably not.
Yeah. Well,
But,
the cool thing about this is I was mentioning. I told Ronnie because Ronnie actually asked in person as well, and I told him about Dwayne. I was like, "You haven't ever gotten to hear about Dwayne."
Oh yeah.
GYMFLO Dwayne. That motherfucker hits me up for stringers
Does he really?
every time
All
we
the
talk.
time.
You got any stringers?
Yeah.
I was like, well, if there's enough demand.
Stringers are they're for some people.
Yeah.
But as a business owner, not to shit on. If you like stringers, you like stringers. People might not like what I wear. No big deal. But yeah, the demand to me just isn't quite there. And as a business owner, if neither of us are payroll companies, so if we're gonna drop money on something, we want something to be very versatile. In a t-shirt, a unisex t-shirt, men and women can wear.
Yep.
If you want to cut it, make it into a cutoff, you can do that. It's just year round. It's not only a summer thing.
I was mentioning to him, I was like, maybe now that we have the opportunity to make all of our clothing, most of it in here now, maybe I could do a one-off of some sort of small run of them. But I don't know. For me, I don't think stringers fit the brand anymore, or really never fit it to begin with, at least GYMFLO.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to, we aren't nailed down with just hardcore bodybuilding. Not that you need to be hardcore. We could say, give it all the ifs and buts, but Ronnie, just give me some time. Maybe I can.
Maddie and I were talking a little bit about that yesterday in regards to the gym, because I would say Iron Built Gym isn't like one kind of lifting, because it's niche in a sense that, the people that come here aren't going to have the best time in a commercial gym. And we do have a focus of strength training and weightlifting and bodybuilding from a broad sense. Mm-hmm. But it isn't so niche that it's purely powerlifting, purely bodybuilding. We do have a pretty big powerlifting community, which, we've loved and embraced. But I honestly like it that way, because I think sometimes people feel like they have to put themselves in a specific box, or they aren't kind of good enough in a way.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think especially for sustainability and long term, because if you associate your fitness, if you associate fitness and exercising with only one discipline, if you don't enjoy that community anymore, or competing or whatever, then you might just kind of disassociate yourself with exercise overall, just because you tied it to one individual thing. So I guess that's what I'll say about it.
Yeah, I'd say it's pretty well rounded in here, different aspects, backgrounds.
Few CrossFitters, few functional training.
Just this morning, I was training Mark, and I saw, I don't know the guy's name. He's wearing a First Form shirt, but he was doing a little CrossFit WOD over there in the corner.
Yeah.
Treadmill, not jump jacks, jump rope.
Yeah.
Shit that.
Climbing on the walls.
Too much for me, but
yeah.
But I think it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it for the questions this week.
So one topic that I was thinking about that I feel like I can talk to you about a little bit more, because I think you weren't big into fitness YouTube, but you definitely watch Rich
Piana.
Did you watch anybody else in those early kind of 2010s?
Probably. You'd have to name them.
So here's the deal. Matt Ogus uploaded a video, but you know who he is.
Yeah, but I never even watched one video from him.
Okay, so I wasn't a big Matt Ogus guy either, but I did know of him, and but he randomly popped up in my subscriptions recently because he uploaded a new video. It's been months. Basically, the past 3 years, he's uploaded one or two videos every 6-8 months. It's been kind of weird, but it sent me on a loophole, or what do you call it?
Wormhole.
Rabbit hole. There we go. It sent me on a rabbit hole, and I went back to a video from. It was one of his maybe it's one of his older videos. Okay, it's 2010, 2011 time period. Okay.
I'm surprised you watched that 720 probably quality.
Well, so I go back, and it's wild because I'm looking. It's a Q&A video. It says with 20-year-old bodybuilder or whatever, and I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, this guy at this point watching this video is younger than me even, and it's 2010. Modern day Matt Ogus has 2 kids now, totally different guy, spent basically a whole decade as a GYMFLO top athlete, all kinds of shit. And it's funny watching these videos and thinking how the person's changed, how fitness has changed, how YouTube content has changed. Yeah. So I'm watching this long form video. I think it was a part 2 of a Q&A. It's 17 minutes. He's just standing in his bedroom. It's a regular bachelor bedroom. There's just shit kind of all over the place. Just nothing to it. Regular camcorder, right, video. And he's just eating something, looks like a mixture of maybe protein and oatmeal. And he's just rambling, answering the questions. And he's talking probably don't want to do any carbs after 10 p.m. Just not a good idea. You could probably do some carbs 6 to 8 p.m., but you want to keep it pretty low. As far as your meats, chicken, steak, doesn't really matter. And he's kind of rattling off these things, and I'm taken back because I remember a lot of these things were so experimented with at the time.
Yeah.
There weren't really set rules, and not that there's set rules now, but I mean, I remember there was the whole like no carbs after bed thing. It was if it fits your macros was just becoming a thing, and people were like, oh, you could fit Pop-Tarts in your diet, and this was like a whole thing now, and just there wasn't as many people in fitness, so everyone was just learning as they go, and the workout videos were so organic and raw. It was just some guy like filming in the mirror at the gym, commercial gym, like, hey, I'm gonna take y'all through my leg day, and it's just him talking over voice over some clips, iMovie graphics, whatever, and just talking through, I've been, do these RDLs, here's like little things I do, and it's just so interesting watching those, not only because I feel like as things have progressed, it's a lot of nostalgia creeping up in my mind, but in some ways I feel like the information you get is much more valuable and accessible versus now it's just entertainment and flash appeal rather than the actual substance. And there's something about just following these people along their journey too, because most of the people you find on Instagram, social media, they're 10, 15 years, they already have a ton of training experience, they've already built their physique. But a lot of these guys that I feel like I was watching coming up, whether it's Matt Ogus or Max Tooney, Nick Wright, Chris Jones, like all these different people, they had some years of experience, but they were young. They were like 21, 24, slowly coming up. They were just learning as they go, sharing what they knew. There was really no money in it yet. And you just got these raw personalities and funny, funny things going on. And it just got me thinking, I don't know if you have any like nostalgia watching some like old Rich videos or what you think about like that time period.
So there was a weird period. I remember when I first got into watching like bodybuilding and fitness on like a TV, because at YouTube, I was into YouTube, but I wasn't really watching a ton of it on YouTube. I was watching DVDs.
Who was on the DVD?
Jay Cutler.
Oh yeah, he did have a DVD series.
I bought a couple of his. I think I brought a Branch Warren DVD. Like, so I guess it was like 2010, probably 2010 is when I really got into lifting. But I didn't realize there was people on YouTube doing it, and so I was paying for it. I was paying for porn back then, right?
I used to go to Blockbuster, go in the back section.
Yeah, practically.
Yeah,
but it was cool. And thinking back, when you mentioned that it was a lot more knowledge based, or at least trying to be like value given in it, like a training tutorial or a
it's just they were still trying to figure it out themselves.
Yeah.
They were like, hey, trying this new split, trying this new exercise. It's like you were on the journey with them.
And I think that's why it clicked and why those people blew up, is because people really got attached. They're like, oh shit, this dude's just trying everything.
Yeah.
Let me see what happens.
Yeah.
And I didn't get as much connected. Yeah. Thinking back like to people like Jay Cutler or Rich, because they were already huge when I first found them.
Yeah.
So it's like, fuck. There's no way I could be that big or work like that or lift like that, because Jay Cutler was eating thousands and thousands of calories a day, training like 3 hours a day.
He's a pro bodybuilder. It's very different than – that's what I mean. So I feel like these people were more approachable. And, it also – Instagram was not at all really what it was. Even like when it comes to like 2014, 2015, Christian Guzman and these other people are coming up as well. There's a little bit of fitness on Instagram, but it's still not nearly what it is today, where there's tons of workouts on, Reels and all this information, blah, blah, blah. So when you would see a new video pop up from a Chris Jones or something like that, you'd be like, oh, man, I wonder, like, what his workout is like that. Especially if you don't have a bunch of knowledgeable people or interesting physiques at your gym, this is like that big brother showing you, oh, here's how you do this, or here's a cool, like, protein oatmeal recipe to make, or here's some tips to help you on your cut, because these things just weren't as publicly like known. Now the same facts, the macro dieting, everything is just so repeated, so you kind of know it just a little bit faster. But I don't know, and a lot of it for me, I was telling Maddie, is just so much nostalgia, because I remember who I was at the time in like 2014, 2015. I'm just like a freshman in high school, just watching these videos, and I would just be eager to come home, get home, watch one of their, like, let's say leg day videos as I'm eating rice cakes before I go train.
Yeah.
And, you're getting ideas from them on, oh, so let me try this exercise. I've never done that before. Let me try this tip that he shared. And it's just so cool. And, and then sometimes when they'd meet up, different stuff too.
Oh, yeah.
So it, I don't know. I'm sure, again, like, it's probably weird watching, like, Rich do some of the, like, the feeder workouts,
Yeah.
8-hour arm day shit,
And kids that are coming up, or younger kids that are coming up now, are probably going through those same things with the current people.
Yeah,
but in a
that's
different
true.
way, though, because, like, a lot more of it's lifestyle vlogs and
A
lifestyle
lot of it is
now.
lifestyle shit
But,
now, yeah.
So you get attached in that sort of sense, too. I don't nearly as much. I mean, I can watch a few, like, of Max Tuning's things, but then it's like, all right, I'm tired of seeing you go to the grocery store.
I pulled up his channel because I unsubscribed a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I subscribed him way back in the day. He's one of the first people I, like, watched. But this is the problem with YouTube now with most of these people. I'll pull up, so his recent, like, 20 videos, okay? This one has his, like, assistant Mona in it. So, chick, our big announcement. Next video, finding out what girls like. Couple videos down, going on a first date. Couple videos, we're moving in together. Just pulling that.
Yeah.
My new relationship status. Couple videos, my recent dating experience. It goes on and on and on. Dating a new subscriber, teaching girls how it's done. It's all this, like, using girls and sex appeal to try and get guys to watch the videos and this and that. And it's just, I get it if fitness doesn't have to be your life anymore. Maybe that's how you started YouTube. But I just feel like the raw substance isn't on YouTube that much anymore. And although kids nowadays coming up can literally get all the information, sometimes too much information, you end up getting less out of it.
Yeah.
People are looking to supplements, they're looking to SARMs, they're looking to this specific workout and this and that to get them that physique, versus these guys were like, hey, we're just going to go in, train hard today, push to failure. It was more simple. And sometimes simple isn't going to carry you forever, but simple sometimes will get you into a more sustainable long-term mindset and teach you more about balance and things like that.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the lifestyle getting woven in and high marketing with the Gymshark and all these different things like that, you just lose a little bit of the substance and simplicity of just going in and training and enjoying pushing the weight in your body a little bit. It's like if you don't film your workout or take a photo, it's like it didn't happen. Where back then, I feel like, you never really did film yourself. It was weird to film yourself.
Weird. It was, hard to catch a picture usually of sometimes. It would be like that awkward, like, mirror picture or whatever. And it's like, oh.
And I'll be honest, I'm being a boomer saying, old man on the porch, my day was better, you know. And I'm just having some nostalgia. But it was just something I was thinking about. I bet if I sat down, I could think about it a little bit more about why I think those videos would be almost a little bit more helpful now to the youth growing up.
Yeah.
But it's funny because, like, when we'd have the high school kids come in, they'd be telling us or referencing, these young cats, right, that are like 19 or whatever, 150 pounds, like lean, like GYMFLO athletes or GYMFLO, no, Gymshark athletes.
Come on, bro.
Or Young LA, all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And I almost want to tell them, here's a playlist I made full of, like, videos from 2015.
Check them out.
Yeah, I need you to go through all of these first,
Damn.
It's like, somebody watching the prequels of Star Wars and they haven't seen, like, the originals.
Yeah.
And you're like, hey, I know these aren't HD. I know some of the effects are a little goofy, but just hear me out. Watch these. Yeah. It's a little bit of that,
Yeah. And it is what it is.
Yeah.
Views get the money, so people are going to keep creating drama and, like, clickbait shit until... so let's say, for example, somebody... Rest in peace, but, like, John Meadows was very value-driven, raw with most of his videos. It wasn't, like, a lot of edits and shit like that. It was just straight to the point, hey, this is what we're going to go over today type deal.
He had great content,
and he had a good amount of following on that.
So his channel I would describe a little bit differently, as far as the channel wasn't about him and his training.
No.
It was more educational and more of, like, a trainer or coach, if you want to describe him in that way, versus... a lot of these people coming up, Christian Guzman, he's documenting his life, his training, or Matt Ogus was documenting his life, his training, his competitions, whatever he was doing.
I think someone relevant would be like Nick Bear, that's been
yeah. So Nick Bear does that in a way,
sort of
but
journey.
almost like, I don't know, the over the top editing really makes it a cool experience to watch. You do feel like you're watching almost TV or episodes.
Yeah.
But there is something about that just raw editing and basic filming. But I think because we're so overexposed to higher levels of editing now, when you see that, you almost just discount it,
Yeah.
It's hard to find somebody who is interesting enough and has value that isn't already making high-level content, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was just an interesting topic. I wanted to take a little trip down memory lane.
It's 2022, Grandpa.
I know.
Move on.
I know. But another thing I wanted to talk about is a little bit how I am kind of like revamping or rethinking my training a little bit, because I felt like the past 6-8 months, the more I've gotten into running, I've been training hard, but my weight training workouts have almost been with the mindset of I'm putting in all this work just to maintain, and not that maybe that's actually the truth. Maybe I can't have that much growth with all this running, at least on my peak weeks of mileage. However, most of my workouts, I'm going in, I'm grabbing the 85s or 90s like I always do, doing 6 or 8 like I always do, and I never go in and go, hey, last week I did sets of 6, let me do sets of 7 this week, which is how I trained for 7 years prior to this. I'd go in, I'd have a goal and be like, okay, let me do 5 pounds more this week on, whatever press, or let me, last week I did sets of 8, let me do sets of 9 or 10 this week, Simple progressive overload principle.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd go in and I'd push it, just a little bit more. But now it's like I've been going in with the mindset of, I just do the same weight and just, focus on maintaining that strength. And I feel like I'm almost just falling in to going through the motions in a way. Still training hard, still getting great pumps, good workouts, but I'm just going through the motions with a lot of these movements. So I thought about it hard, and I was like, you know what? Let me switch back to back squats. Let me get on a little bit of like a strength program for my bench and squat. Have a little bit of like some strength goals driven, at least over the winter heading into the spring. Really push that. Switch up the exercises and just get back to really pushing myself. Like almost treat it like I'm not even running, and really think about, hey, let me treat it like progressive overload, like I've always trained. Push, all exercises and try and make those gains week by week, and keep things moving in an upward direction, and just almost like reset.
Yeah. I feel like I could do that for myself too.
Yeah.
Because, with, you're pushing, you only have so much, your battery only has so much energy every day. And when you're dispersing it to multiple different sources, not only work itself, or the daily hurdles, but training, fucking other extracurricular training, whether it's your running, your cycling, whatever, it's just like, well, shit, man, I haven't gone up in weight, or my weights have actually gone down a little bit, which they have with, most of my lifting. Especially, like, I notice I keep track of my weights a lot more with my lower body days than my upper body. My upper body, I mean, I push, but, like, I'm more focused on a pump. But, like, with legs, like, I'm like, all right, well, I did 3 plates last week. I need to at least put a 10. But or I did 4 or 5 plates a couple weeks back, so now I'm down to 3 plates. It's like, oh, shit.
Yeah. And sometimes it's just like, I think it's just the mindset.
Yeah.
Almost accepting or expecting yourself to be weaker.
Maybe.
And not to say that it doesn't actually, I mean, I'm sure my legs aren't going to be able to push some weeks, some workouts as hard as they would be if I didn't run at all. I'm not ignorant to that. But I do feel like I need to almost go in with an empty mindset and almost, ignore that idea. And I think what was driving me of just going through the motions a little bit was I didn't have a goal anymore for bodybuilding. And it's not because I don't care about my physique. I do want to look good and I care about that. But I again expected 0 from my training because of all the running. I was like, I'm not going to be able to get any bigger. But it's like, why not? Like, let's try at least. Who knows? Maybe you'll surprise yourself. I mean, my calves have grown. My arms feel more muscular than they ever have. My chest and back seem to be like maintained in a way. So it's like, why don't I really push the envelope? Maybe play around with the calories a little bit higher, and see if I can pack on a little bit of mass. Even despite the running, and see if my body can adapt to that. I just think setting a goal, I think, is important. And I spoke about it. We spoke on it, months ago in the past on multiple different podcasts, and it's just something I need to practice what I preach with. I have goals for business, for life, for running, but I need to still reevaluate and set those goals, I think, for my lifting as well, so I have something to work towards. Because otherwise you just naturally go through the motions. And that might help you maintain your fitness level, but who wants to do the same thing for 8 months and have nothing really to show for it?
Yeah. Which I'm going to be the first to say that I was definitely, and I still can be that some weeks, going through the motions, being the same as last month type deal, which sucks. When it doesn't suck at the moment, but when you look back and when you say it blatantly out in the open like that, you're like, damn, what the fuck have I been doing? And I spoke with Ronnie yesterday. It might have been Saturday. But he asked me if I rode. I didn't ride Saturday. I barely rode yesterday. Or I didn't ride what I was supposed to. Ever since, and I knew immediately as I started to say it to him, I was like, it's a piss poor attitude. And I'm switching out of that. But, or realizing that I don't need to be there. Why am I feeling like that? But anyways, I was like, honestly, after that last podcast, when we talked and you're like, hey, you probably should swallow not probably getting the 100. I was like, well, then fuck. Well, I agreed. I was like, yeah.
You're like, what am I doing for this for then?
That's exactly what I said. And I was like, well, why am I training so hard then? What? Fucking slow down. You don't have to. Yeah. You're not going for the 100. So, like, I feel, like, discouraged in myself. Not on anybody but myself. Like, I was like, well, fuck, man. I let myself slide on the 100, so why am I even going to work, But then I started thinking about that. I was like, that sounds like a bitch-ass attitude.
It's a bitch-ass attitude, but I'll put it in my perspective because I've thought about that a lot too. So I've seen one guy that I follow on Instagram, very supportive. We kind of shoot messages back and forth. I gotta remember his username. I think it's MP Harks or whatever. But anyway, guy in like New Jersey area. Did some like triathlon stuff a little bit, but he recently ran 31 miles, 50K basically on his own. I think around like a neighborhood or city area that he lives. But it made me reflect on my 50K because he ran it, I think, at like a 10:59 type pace, and took him, I think, around like 5.5 hours. Mine took me 7.5, and granted, trails make things a little bit different. It was a super hot day, but it just made me really rethink because I've seen other people too that are, run either the marathon or these different efforts that I can kind of compare myself to. And I'll look at my ability and I'll just be like, man, I am so fucking far from running 50 miles or even a 50K successfully. I can't even run, or I haven't at least been able to prove that I can run a marathon straight without mixing in any walking. And it's made me just think, what the hell? I'm putting in all these hours just to be so far from my goals, and let alone running 100 miles. And it makes you sit there and think, who am I to say I'm going to be able to do this?
That's exactly right.
Yeah, what the fuck am I doing? No one's making me do this. But then I just thought about it, and I was like, I just can't be a fucking quitter my whole life,
Yeah, I that's what I thought. I was like, I just can't have the easy way out.
Because I've been that way with, I was getting close to a 4 or 5 squat in the past, and I got close, and I was like, I just not now, can't do it, and just you can't just quit. I feel like when things get hard, even if you see other people maybe doing a little bit easier, I'm tired of being that guy that's just like, well, it's not for me, or I can't do that, or it's a little too much work or something like that. And so I've just swallowed my pride a little bit and realized, hey, it may take me a lot longer than everybody else, but I'm going to stick it out. I'm going to keep working on this goal. I'm going to work on getting my paces up, improving, my leg endurance, during these longer hours and things like that. And I'm just going to figure it out.
Yeah.
And even if it takes me 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years of running, I'm going to get there eventually and do it. And it's just a matter of consistency and building up that aerobic engine and prepare myself for it. And it would just be so wasteful to spend an entire year training and running and adopting this, lifestyle and these habits, and then just to kind of throw it away and just be a casual runner. But the alternative is just foot's on the gas, and you're just training like hell, for such a long, end goal. But it's just, who do you want to be? Do you want to be that guy? Or do you want to just be another person?
Well, yeah. And
it's a tough choice.
It is a tough choice, but reiterating what you said and what I've agreed with in the past is, tired of being the same, letting myself slide, and that trait, when I started thinking about it, when I told Ronnie that out loud, I was like, man, that trait sounds like something I would say. It's like, oh, well, it's not like I'm going to, I'm trying to compete with it. It's just versus me, and that trait or characteristic could easily trickle down into all my other decisions that I make, whether it comes to work or picking up extra work, extra clients, staying here later to do whatever, I would say, oh, I can do it tomorrow, or
I
oh, I don't need to do it.
there's a sense of regret. I don't want to look 5 years from now and be like, man, I kind of just gave up on that 100-mile ultra marathon goal.
Yeah.
I just said, I can't do it. It's like, why the fuck can't I do it? It's just quitting when the work really begins. But it's just one of those things you gotta look yourself in the mirror and either tell yourself you're just gonna be a quitter, or put on your bootstraps and just realize you're just gonna be trucking uphill for a while. It's just the alternative is just you just can't accept the alternative. I don't know, in my mind I was like, I just can't. I've talked about it too much. I've been way too deep into it. I really want it. I want to cross 100-mile, or I want to be consistently crossing each year ultramarathon races. But wishing it and visualizing it and following Instagram pages doesn't do it.
No.
It just takes years of work. And when you're in the early years, it's hard to accept that or see that, But it's just one of those things where the alternative, looking a year from now and having that regret of just giving up on it, hurts more than the idea of doing the work to get there.
Yeah.
So hopefully that resonates a little bit with where you're at, and maybe where other people are too. Because you're not the only one who looks at a far out goal and realizes, hey, not as close as I was kind of hoping.
Yeah.
And you realize the work you've done now has been hard, and it's only going to get harder.
For sure.
Moving forward.
Well, yeah, obviously, because my ass got wrecked, and I was like, well, shit, I'm not even close to doing it.
Yeah.
But I think what eats me up is feeling what I felt when I said that was like, man, it's just, if I let myself slide on this, even though it's a huge goal for me, it could trickle down into the little decisions that I make throughout the day, letting myself just slide, and that's what I don't want. That was the main goal of doing the 100 was to become tougher, to where I don't say no to shit,
Yeah, I think it again just goes back to what we've talked about in the past about continuously choosing the hard path in life, continuously choosing the hard decisions till they become habit. You kind of want to get to the point where getting up on time, getting up early, putting full effort in your workouts, not missing, a beat, hitting your macros, whatever it is, just becomes, it takes discipline at first, and then it becomes habit.
Yeah.
Just like, brushing your teeth and these other things, it just becomes routine. Because the more things you can make into habits, you don't have to stress and rely on the discipline to get them done anymore. Yeah. So, it's just tough. It's just really tough. Because, the first time you run, 6 miles, it's, crazy, right? You're like, holy shit, that was long. But you got to eventually get to the point where 6 miles is your, easy run.
Yeah.
But it takes a while to build to that. But, hey, If it was easy, everyone would do it,
Everybody
right?
be doing it.
It's a simple phrase. People throw it around, but it's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
I know.
what else you got?
Well,
I don't really have any topics, man.
I have one more. It relates to the gym, but it relates to, I think, everything that I think about and that you do as well. And it's just the idea of just staying true to yourself.
Yeah.
You know, I think when GYMFLO is competing with other supplement brands, we're, competing, or, other people compare us to other gyms. I think at the end of the day, it's just important to stay true to your brand and your vision, As far as how I want this place to feel and be when people come in here, it's like we could fill it up with different equipment, or put on a persona, or, do something to just, I don't know, make this gym something different. But I want this gym to kind of feel and be what I set it out to be from day one. I don't want to look back and be like, man, this gym has turned into like a nightmare or something I'm not proud of or happy to say that I own,
Mm-hmm.
either via the people or how things are set up or how things are run. If people are, treated poorly, members are treated poorly, I don't want to look back and be like, I let this turn into something I don't love anymore. And I think it could be the same way with GYMFLO if you started just slashing formulas or just, making it all marketing and hoopla. I think you'd look back, you'd be like, I don't even really like taking my own products. Yeah. I don't like with the things that people attach to the brand, how they view it. And I think, sometimes you might have to sacrifice a little bit of short-term, immediate success for long-term sustainability, happiness, and your true vision.
For sure. I mean, because at the end of the day, like acting like something you're not or trying to play something you're not going to be happy on the inside.
Yeah.
Whether it be, your personality or your business, your brand. I'd say when GYMFLO first started, we were definitely like, we didn't have our own path. I mean, we knew what we wanted to do, which was create our own products and create our best at the time. But it was like, you still, with any brand, probably translates is like you watch other brands and you're like, oh, this brand's doing this. It must work for them. It might work for me. Let me try and create this or do that.
Yeah, it's easy to pull from other people's ideas or brands, but
you can fall into a hole really quickly chasing other people's visions and goals when you should be focusing on what do you want to create? What do you like? Because at the end of the day, you can fully stand behind it, because you like it, you created it genuinely. And then also, I don't know, it doesn't, I think a lot of people, especially me and you, we talk about it all the time, we can spot a fake, inauthentic, like, brand or person. For the most part, we're not fucking mind readers, but I can usually talk or just see somebody's social media and be like, I don't really
and
trust
that's
that person.
Another thing is like, Maddie and I were talking in the car yesterday is, about social media too, like what kind of posts you make. Like when I post, I don't want to put out this unapproachable, bigger than I am persona, on Instagram. Like I want to post and be like, I struggle with shit. Yeah, I do preach hard work ethic, and I follow those things. I practice what I preach. That's part of the reason why I'm, post most of my runs on my story, and I'm like, hey, look, I'm in the trenches. I'm doing the work as well. But I also want to just show, as much as who I am and what I'm doing as I can. I don't want to just act like I'm, way bigger than I am. Like even when I posted the marathon, I could have just posted the finish, not talked about my time, and just been like, just crushing goals. Anything that comes to me, I just put my head down and just knock it out easy. But it's like that's not what happened. The marathon had a lot of trials and tribulations, and I'm happy to expand on that. And I think people do in the long run appreciate the genuine vibes and things that you give out there, and the originality, like you said. If you're constantly being a copycat or ripping from other things, it'll show in the end. But if you're original, you'll be able to keep a consistent persona, mindset, content, and yeah.
You'll feel happier. And on the
Yeah.
inside, you'll feel it.
Yeah.
You'll feel like genuinely happy. You might not be satisfied where you're at. I'm never like, oh man,
You won't
we're
be lost.
crushing.
You
But
know?
like, I feel like, man, what we do though, I genuinely enjoy, and I feel like people genuinely.
It's easy to
enjoy
be
it,
you
too.
when you've always been you.
Yeah,
You know. I guess that's what I'll say.
100%. You gotta stand. I don't know. You gotta take a stand and just be like, yeah, I'm doing me.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to word that, but I agree with you.
Yeah.
And hopefully other people out there, whether you're planning on starting a brand or starting a company or just trying to like fit in,
Mm-hmm.
you don't fuck fitting in. Reword that. I guess
Fit out. Actually.
fit out. Find your spot. Be you.
Yeah.
The right people will come around. The right people won't.
Yeah. I think that's a good way to end the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Good little fire. for
Yeah,
you
so
guys.
keep your eyes peeled. Black Friday, this Thursday, 7 p.m., Turkey Day.
Follow us on Instagram.
Yep.
And last thing, too, if you're local, whether you lift at our gym or not, deadlift competition going down, cash prizes at Iron Belt Gym. It is December, I want to say 18th. Let me double check the date while I got y'all on here. It is December 18th. Yep, 18th,
Boom.
10 a.m. Deadlift only competition. If you're not the heaviest 800-pound puller, no big deal. It's winners based off their dot score, which I don't know off the top of my head, but it factors in
Your weight.
your
right?
body weight as well. So if you pull a lot of weight for your body weight, good chance to win. And even if you just want to have a good time, all the profits are getting donated to the Salvation Army. So going to a good cause. December 18th at Iron Belt Gym, 10 a.m. We got 3 prizes, first, second, third for both men and women. $200 prize, $100, and $50 for both each men and women respectively. So
Damn.
that's the deal. Sign up information is going to be on our Instagram, so go find that link, sign up, and yeah.
Pull
that's
some
gonna be
fucking
it.
weight.
Pull some fucking weight.
Well, guys, we'll see y'all next week. Make sure you share the show. Until next time. See ya.
Peace.